This is a couple of graphs that you've got here. You probably can't quite see them from the back, but I'll give you a little bit of indication. This gives you a list. This gives us two things. One, it gives you a list of what type of complaints we've been receiving throughout the year. As you can see, it's quite minor in the smaller areas of failing to call for inspections and contractual and ethical conduct and that sort of stuff. Quite minor, which is good. One of the disappointing things was the amount of poor standard of work. Poor standard of work was very high. Now, in contrast to that, when you look at the actual number of fines that we've issued, we ramped up very early in the year last year, and as you can see in March, nearly hit the top of the screen. But what's been really good from our perspective is the reaction since. Now you can see the reaction has been, I think the last, 4 on-site checks we've done, I don't think we've found a single plumber that hasn't been licensed or a proper apprentice. It's been a great response. I think the message is definitely getting out there that, if you want to work for Queensland, you've got to have a licence, because we will turn up. There's no doubt about it. And just to give you a bit of indication, this is some of the stuff we've been finding. And the disappointing part, excuse me, is that this is being done by licensees. This was a part of a solar breakback program that's been done up in the north of Queensland, not right here. We discovered that there was a company that was going around offering free solar hot water to resorts. And they were offering it on the basis of you sign your RECs over and we'll give you free hot water. And understandably, you can see the resorts were suggesting, that, hey, why would I turn down a freebie? Nobody would. But what they were actually doing was they were installing not 1 or 2, they were installing 50. So, and as you can see, one of our investigators, Matt there, this is in a laundry. You actually can't get between the units. Some of this stuff is overflow, just on the ground and plastic. Just running down in a bit of PVC. I think this was irrigation pipe, wasn't it, Phil? Irrigation pipe was their discharge. And I think on the right-hand side there, I think they just they used a zippy tie tied to a bush as their idea of clipping. Same again, wrong size manifold, no clipping. And what they did here was they actually taped the electric cable to the top of the hot water pipe, because they didn't want to separate it. This is the sort of stuff you would expect to see from guys that are unlicensed, but in fact these are guys who are licensed. And this is what's disappointing. There's your clipping, great clipping, isn't it? And that's your structurally designed roof stand for that solar system up in North Queensland. They cyclone-proof 4x2s. 4x2s that was knocked up on a roof. This is really, you'll like this one. This was part of an installation that somebody did for a solar hot water system. And they obviously cut the pipe a bit short, so they thought, oh Christ, I need to get something here and put this together. Let me show you, when this leaked, let me show you what that fitting was made of there. I think there's probably everything you can find wrong about everything you try to do that is in that picture, isn't it? And a licensed plumber did that. That's incredible. And they wonder why it leaked. And that's the damage it caused. Come right to the thing. So it's disappointing. We are finding this stuff. It's not that we want to find it, but we're finding it. And it's important that we make sure that we're very vigilant, and we want you guys who are licensed to make sure that when you're doing some work, if you're unsure in any form, either speak to the local plumbing inspector, or you can make a phone call to any of our technical guys. We'd much rather you do it right the first time than do it like that and then it failed and, well, I should have asked. Just ask. You will get times when there's issues and you're uncertain whether how to do it because of the particular layout you're in. Speak to the local government plumbing inspector. They're the guys that should be signing it off. And if you're doing it under the Form 4 process, they do have the ability to go out and audit. Ask the guy to come out. Sometimes it's worth it. The other thing we've got is that we've now got a feedback form that's on the web. This allows anybody to give some feedback if they want to make a complaint in relation to any work that's been undertaken, or it can even be used by yourself in relation to somebody who thinks unlicensed or is doing poor work. And as you may well know, we've got out with quite a big public awareness campaign over the last 6 months, major awareness campaign. We're really trying to promote that plumbing isn't just a trade, it's a profession, and the guys or the licensees, you don't get them free. You have to do a significant apprenticeship as well as other endorsements to operate as a plumber, and we need to make sure that the people that are doing the plumbing are the guys that are the licenses and not the guys that think they've got a licence or would like to have one. Things that are just coming up on the agenda, which we hopefully will fill you in a little bit later on in the year at probably a couple more seminars and roadshows that we'll be attending. Obviously this is a big one for most of you guys, National Construction Code. The National Construction Code has been adopted and it will be implemented from May this year. The National Construction Code includes the Building Code of Australia, Volumes 1 and 2, and includes the Plumbing Code of Australia. The object of this whole process is to put it all under one banner where it can be administered a lot easier. The Plumbing Codes Committee has been established. The Plumbing Codes Committee is the jurisdictional regulators, so all the regulators current as they are now are on that Plumbing Codes Committee, plus some industry representatives that we have. There is some overlap currently between the Building Code and the Plumbing Code. That will be ironed out, we believe, next 12 to 18 months. And clearly we've got some differences between the states. Things, for instance, stormwater is a perfect example. In Queensland, stormwater discharge is a building matter. In most of the other states, it's plumbing. That's something that's being reviewed, and the BCA calls up stormwater, but of course the installation of it often is done under the Plumbing Code. But you should come along. As you can see, these sessions are on the 21st and 22nd of March. They will introduce the Plumbing Code of Australia and how it's going to operate. The guys from Canberra, from ABCP, will be there doing the presentation. We will also be there as well and help answer any questions you might have. You also get, as part of going to that, you get a copy of the new Plumbing Code of Australia. So I think, I'm not quite sure what the price is, I think it was $100 and something to go, but includes in that is a new copy of the Plumbing Code of Australia. And a couple of other events that are coming up. We had World Plumbing Day on the 11th of March, which the Master Plumbers, I believe, are organising up at Victoria Park. And then there's the annual Plumbing Conference on the 3rd and 4th of November this year. And it's a great tool for you guys to go to. Not only to see what the trade displays are, but also mix with all the other plumbing inspectors and government guys, including myself, and the rest of industry. So please attend, certainly if you can. And if you need anything, or you need to do any feedback or contact us all, you can get to plumbers@dick.qld.gov, and that's our address. If you have any queries, we've got a question and answer website which we developed as part of the flood response. If you go to the flood government, state government website for flooding, you'll see that there's a couple of contact points for rebuilding and maintenance. One of them is the BSA has a contact site there, and so does the electric board. But you'll also see there's a plumbing one, and if you go on that, it will go to the Department of Infrastructure and Planning website, where we've given some Q&As about plumbing as well as other building matters. We intend to retain those Q&As, and where we get continuous similar requests for advice or information, certainly on the codes, if it becomes a regular requirement, as far as the inquiry is concerned, we will put it up there as a Q&A. So you can go there, and if you've got a particular thing you want to know, you can look up and see if it's there first. That should be able to help you. Thank you very much.
Hey Chris, before you go, with the tempering valve, my understanding is that if you go and replace a fixture in a house, you've got to put a tempering valve on the water system. Is that the way it sort of reads in that new news flash?
I think in the news flash we said if you replace the hot water system. I don't think it's the taps. Yeah. Yeah, look, we did look at the tempering valve issue. We had a few inquiries, both for and for against it, and we did put out some feelers. When we really looked at the standard is quite clear, and it talks about new and replacement work. However, when it talks about the tempering valve, as far as hot water systems, it talks about a new hot water system. It didn't talk about new fixtures and fittings in relation to taps. And we felt that it would be too much of an impost to expect somebody who's going to have a new set of taps put in their bathrooms and then suddenly go back and put in a tempering device if he doesn't need it. That would be excessive. And certainly if you then put a tempering device to that one tap that didn't have to do anything else in the house. So we felt that the new hot water system is a new system. If you put a new system in, it's new. You're not repairing something that's existing, it's a new one. And we feel that that time and the plumber needs to make sure that if it hasn't got a tempering valve that's currently in the home, he needs to have